Okay. So I'm taking a question from MathSpace again. 4x squared minus 24x plus 20 equals 0. Because this equals 0, it's really nice and easy to manipulate this equation. What I mean by that is I'm seeing a 4, a 24, and a 20. They can all be divided by 4. Right? They all have 4 as a common factor. So I would say, therefore, x squared minus 6x plus 5 equals 0. Right? At this point, I can factorize. I need a product that gives a 5. I need a sum that gives a minus 6. And there are numbers that will do that. So this is a quadratic that's easy to factorize. I'll always factorize if I can, as opposed to using quadratic formula. And then using null factor here at the end, we get x can equal a 1 to make this 0. Or if this x was a 5, this would be 0. And we'd have a solution. So I'll put those in, but I want to do the question another way just to show you that it will work. So I've gotten x equals 1 or 5. Now, pen. All right, so back to the question. We could have used quadratic formula we could use quadratic formula on the quadratic here in its original form. I might do that just to show you it will work. Although I'm not sure about what 24 squared is. I might need my calculator for that. Well, that's right, I've got a calculator somewhere. Or we could have used quadratic formula on this form after we divide it by 4. And I did really want to make that point that it's easy to manipulate. You can multiply 0. When an equation equals 0, you can multiply 0 or divide 0 by anything, it's still 0, right? But we know this quadratic formula should always work for any quadratic. And here we've got an a equals 4, a b is a minus 24, and our c term is 20, right? So we could have said x equals 24, right? So we need a minus b, minus of minus 24, plus or minus the square root of minus 24 all squared, which is just the same as 24 squared, minus 4 times our a term, which is 4, so we're up to 16 at this point, times our b term, which is 20. So here we end up with minus 320, all divided by 8. Right. Now the 24 divided 8, that's easy, but this bit in here I'm not so sure about. So I'm going to go to a calculator for that. I need to know what 24 squared is. I think it's 500 and something. Hang on. Let me just get my pen handy. No, I didn't want to do that. I want to erase this stuff because we don't need that anymore. And I need a cursor. So I'll just get out of here. All right. So the 24 squared was 576, and I had to minus 4 times the a term, which was 4, times the b term, which was 20. So I end up with 256. The square root of 256 is 16. Okay, so back to the question. Right. This is turned into 24 on 8 plus or minus the square root of 256 on 8. Okay, this is x equals, so x has to equal 3 plus or minus 16 on 8, which is 2, right? Therefore, x has to equal 3 plus 2, that's a 5, or 3 minus 2, that's the 1. Okay, so make sure you are using the quadratic formula for questions where you need to. You don't need to in this one, but you will get a question on the test, and you need to know how to use it and not, it's possible to make a mistake, particularly with the minus 4ac, I find. Okay.